We just got more news about the Acolyte and how it may be controversial to some of the fans. First being that the Acolyte didn't just ruin the prequels. I guess there's some kind of thing going on that people seem to forget that the Acolyte is taking place way before the prequels or the original trilogy ever happened. As they stated, there's a gap between the two different eras, both in its universe and ours. The current era of Star Wars in this series is going to be called the High Republic. And if you guys known, last year during the Star Wars celebration that they did release all the movies that were going to be coming out, and I believe the Acolyte was one of them being on there. High Republic itself was announced before the pandemic, being that it was taking place before all the other movies. So I would say that we've had a couple years or so to know that the High Republic was going to happen, and it's basically like all Disney's like writing. So whether it's canon or not, I wouldn't be too upset about it because it's their thing. So it's going to go the way that they're hoping it to go, and they're probably going to go off the books that they currently have. But yes, the new upcoming series is the Acolyte, which will be taking place between the prequel trilogy and High Republic novels. But I'm pretty sure it's set way before the prequels even started, about 100 years before the Phantom Menace, and those are two very different chapters in Star Wars history. And despite this large gap, it looks like they will be able to manage to weave its way into the canon established in the prequels. It may seem like it's directly contradicting what's said in the Phantom Menace. That's actually the whole point of the series. So if you guys haven't already seen the trailer yet, I recommend you watch it now, so that you're up to base here. But basically, in the new trailer, it revealed that the Sith were alive well 100 years before the events of the prequels. And from what we got from the first movie, or well, in chronological order, Phantom Menace is the first movie. There's a part in the show where Ki-Adi-Mundi says that the Sith have been extinct for a millennium, into which a lot of them have agreed that they came out of hiding for a reason. And a lot of people are obviously a little bit mad on that. So in this new show, the Acolyte makes it clear that the Sith have been lurking in the background this whole time. Fans have been taking to social media to speculate that Disney Plus is blatantly ignoring the established canon with the scene of Ki-Adi-Mundi. I really do think I personally don't mind that there is going to be Sith in the earliest times of Star Wars. I knew in the Old Republic, if you guys have seen that, whether it's canon or not, in the Old Republic, you could see that there's definitely a large amount of Sith and a large amount of Jedi. So as far as I'm concerned, the Sith have been around for way longer than we know. With this in mind, it's likely the Sith will stay hidden from the public eye through the Acolyte, but the fans will soon know exactly how the Sith survived and how they stayed hidden from the Jedi all this time, especially the Jedi Council. Another part why people may think that the Acolyte is a little bit controversial is that the showrunner of the series has stated that they hired a person who had no knowledge of prior Star Wars franchise media. As in an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, who asked about putting together the 8-episode first season, the Russian doll explained it was important for her to bring someone into the writer's room who had prior knowledge of Star Wars franchise. And they quoted that they thought it would be good to have the perspective of a person that had literally never seen Star Wars until she was in the room. Headland tells the trade. And obviously this is a lot of quoting. I'm going to try and do my best to go through it without making it seem kind of awkward. She said to me, "Why do you want me in this room? I've never seen Star Wars. I have no idea, and I think there's a dog in it, but I don't know anything." And I was like, first of all, you're an incredible writer, and that's why I want you here. I want you to be the questioning narrative. I don't want myself, who's a lifelong fan, to be relying on particular references in order to create emotional beat. So obviously what this seems like is they want an approach from someone who doesn't know anything about the movie to, I guess, see if they can come up with an idea that could be beneficial to them, and not related to previous work. I know that this happens with a lot of movies. It really is the idea of what you can bring to the table instead of working on something that's already happened, and that's what a lot of movies have done. The ones that fail when they do a sequels, or maybe like the first movie and then the second one does better, is generally because they already have the knowledge but they just don't have the ideas to come up with something that's completely different. Don't freak out just yet, Star Wars fans. It's not going to be the end of the world. I do believe we still have some time to make up for this, even if the first season does turn out to be a flop. We don't know exactly yet. Like, this is the first trailer that we ever got, first news, or that I'm like, more news that we ever got in a while that talks about this show, that I think it would just give it a bit more time before assuming the worst. Lastly, she said that there's a lot of stuff from the EU that I got to utilize. Nobody stopped me, so I did it. So if you're a fan, there will be a species that you might recognize. There are also certain narrative elements. Basically, there are enough Easter eggs if you are a fan of the original trilogy, the prequels, or the Clone Wars, and then there's some EU sprinkled in. It also mentioned that you'll see a little bit of Vernestra Rwoh from the High Republic novels. Now, I haven't actually read the novels yet. I do have a book, but I haven't went into it that deep. If anybody could like let me in on Vernestra Rwoh, it'd be much appreciated. But those who do know who that is, I hope that this is some beneficial information. They also mentioned that you'll see a lot of cameos of alien species that have never been in the post-Disney live action, meaning Zagarian Jedi and half Thelan and half human Jedi. Looks like those are the two things that we talked about. What do you guys think about these two news, like these 2 points on Star Wars news? Do you think that this might ruin the Acolyte? Do you think this is just more exciting? You want to know more? Let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about the current path that Star Wars films are going. I'd be interested to see what you all have to say. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Check out my Twitch if you want to catch me live. I also stream on YouTube. And also check out my TikTok because I like to post stuff there from time to time.